2 years ago, in open court, one of the erudite members of the bench made this statement with the media watching. There is nothing between us and God. I was absolutely shocked. Absolutely shocked. I cannot disagree with anything that you have said in terms of the colonial hangover of this particular profession. 100% it exists. If at all there exists a profession where coloniality does Rudratandav, it is my profession. So it's like this. वकीलों से ये उम्मीद की जाती है कि आप प्रो बोनो केसेस कुछ लड़ें, कि आप 80 to 90% आप पैसा कमाइए, 10% जो है आप चैरिटी के लिए कीजिए. Now, most people who come from the left, they end up taking human rights causes, and human rights causes would translate to minority rights. I decided to say that 10% of my time, and legitimately speaking, that's the only amount of time I'm in a position to devote, and that's the only amount of time I devote. I'm never going to say that I'm doing this for, I've taken up all these cases. No. I'm a hardcore commercial litigator who's taken a conscious decision as a practicing Hindu that I will contribute 10 to 15% of my time in this particular cause. Because one, I'm a first generation litigator. Two, I don't have godfathers telling me, do whatever you want, we'll take care of you. Three, you will be taken seriously in a court only when you're a hardcore commercial litigator who knows the subject. Four, from a very practical perspective, कमर्शियल लिटिगेशन का जो फोरेंसिक रीडिंग होता है, जो बारीकी से पढ़ने की जो क्षमता आती है, उसको जब आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन या संविधान के पढ़ने में आप उसको लगाते हैं, you become better at understanding the constitution. That's one of the reasons that I made the transition. Otherwise, my interest was always in constitution. So what happens is I've taken 10% of my time to say I will devote it for this. I've been branded a Hindu propagandist lawyer for only 10% of the cases I've taken. Since 2016, ever since I went independent, गिन के 10 से कम केसेस होंगे जो मैंने धर्म के लिए लड़ा है. And that's a very conscious decision to say I will take up only those cases which I can do justice to and where I know that the depth of my ability is really necessary. Otherwise, let others also play a role in this. और जब तक ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट में नहीं आता है या फिर किसी हाई कोर्ट में नहीं आता है, I will not be in a position to touch it. क्योंकि हर फोरम का अपना एक रूल होता है, उसका अपना एक कायदा होता है, अपना एक ट्रेडिशन होता है. My face may not work in certain district courts because people may not even know who I am. Just because you happen to be practicing in the Supreme Court, you can't expect every court in the country to know you. That's not the reality of the profession. हर forum का अपना एक face value होता है. So what I'm trying to answer is, you're right that under human rights, the rights that I represent will never come under. Whatsoever. They don't matter. So in the NGO division, so a friend who used to work for one of these NGOs, जो भारत में सिविल सोसाइटी को एक्टिवेट करने का काम करती है, they decide कि जब भी माइनॉरिटी ग्रुप्स के एलोकेशन के बारे में बात आती है कि फंड्स कहाँ पे एलोकेट होगा, सवाल नहीं पूछा जाएगा कि इस संदर्भ में माइनॉरिटी कौन है. ऑलरेडी डिसाइड हो चुका है. No baseline study is needed, no evidence-based study is needed, no empirical study is needed. The moment you say minority, there is only one particular samudaya vishesh that effectively gets treated as a minority community. That is the nature of these two professions. Largely यही ecosystem. Not just that. In my profession, it is predominantly left. It is predominantly left. From legal education to legal practice, it is predominantly left. So I know exactly how difficult it is to hold the positions that I hold and still continue to practice as a commercial litigator without affecting my bottom line under any circumstances. I'm not going to give it up under any circumstances. I will not. Because that keeps my independence alive. I will never be beholden to any organization. Otherwise, भैया जी का ये जो culture है that effectively will kill your independence. जी सर, यही होता रहेगा, that I can't do. Now, इसका change कैसे हो सकता है? These books are meant to be a step in that direction. I'm not selling the books. I'll tell you why. I can fight in Sabarimala, I can fight in Padmanabha Swami, I can fight on temple control. But हर केस में अब जब आप लड़ते रहते हैं, कॉमन जो मुद्दा है इन तीनों केसेस का, वो बाहर निकल के नहीं आ रहा है. मुद्दा ये है that somebody is educated in a colonial education system for close to 20 years, then, rather let's say 16 years, goes through law school for 5 years, where the only subject he's taught in the name of jurisprudence is Western political, let's say Western legal theories. You don't get taught anything else. Hindu legal thought comes into existence only for personal laws, which is marriage and succession. उससे ज़्यादा उसकी कोई अहमियत नहीं है. 3. From there you enter a profession where your ability to practice a profession depends on your ability to come out to the apt turn of phrase in English, and preferably the Queen's English. 4. Your ability to hold the bottle. Okay, these are the manners that you're expected to cultivate, to socialize apparently. 5. You must know, or you must constantly keep yourself abreast of the legal developments in United States and UK. If this is the nature of the profession और इसकी demands ये हैं, please tell me how do you expect a different outcome? मैं इस institution के सामने मैं सबरीमला का बीर बजा रहा था. What outcome can you expect other than a 4-1 outcome? The horses have already bolted from the stables, and I'm trying to run after it with one hand tied to my back and my leg broken because I'm a Hindu. How do I convince? So most people didn't realize, in an ideal situation, this issue should have never gone to court. The fact that it went to a court, and the fact that a court deemed it fit to entertain the petition, is proof of the advanced nature of the problem. And I'll give you another example from the very same Sabrimala case. Justice Kurian Joseph, who is a Keralite Christian, was among the first judges of a particular bench that was seized of the Sabrimala petition जब ये कोर्ट के सामने ये याचिका फाइल किया गया था. Since he is from Kerala, he effectively said, what misogyny are you talking about here? I am from that particular state. As a Christian, even I know that it's not misogyny. It's based on a particular practice there. A Christian judge from Kerala was clear about the nature of the practice. अब आपसे एक सवाल करता हूँ. भारत के ऐसे कितने हिंदू हैं जो ये कह सकते हैं? You see what I'm saying? At the very least, we should have had the humility to say, मैं पूर्व का हो सकता हूँ या उत्तर का हो सकता हूँ, लेकिन हर क्षेत्र की अपनी कुछ मान्यताएं हैं और प्रथाएं हैं, उसके साथ मैं छेड़छाड़ नहीं करूंगा. लेकिन the worst possible example will always come from the Hindu will say, शास्त्र के नाम पे और प्रथा के नाम पे आपने कुछ लोगों को बाहर रखा था मंदिर के बाहर, तो आप इसी बेसिस पे इसी को भी डिफेंड करेंगे. So what you'll be constantly told is, हर प्रैक्टिस को आप अनटचेबिलिटी के साथ कंपेयर किए जाएंगे, बिकॉज उससे आपका मुंह बंद हो जाएगा. आफ्टर दैट आप क्या करेंगे? यू विल ट्राई एंड से, आर यू गोइंग टू कंपेयर एवरी प्रैक्टिस विद अनटचेबिलिटी? इज एवरी प्रैक्टिस गोइंग टू बी डिटर्मिन्ड ऑन द एंगल्स ऑफ अनटचेबिलिटी? सो दैट मीन्स effectively according to you, Hindu Dharma is all about untouchability and nothing more. You can blame the judiciary only to some extent, but judiciary is a reflection of you as a society. इनको भगवान ने पैराशूट से यहाँ पे भेजा नहीं है. कुछ लोग ऐसे सोच सकते हैं, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. They have come from you, be it the politician or representatives of the judiciary. ये आप ही के बीच में से निकले हैं भाई. How do you expect it to be any different? Okay, let's assume for a moment, सारी हिंदू सोसाइटी एक मत से कह रही है ये प्रथा सही है, लेकिन जुडिशरी दूसरे स्तर में बात कर रही है. Then I can still understand that this institution alone is colonized. Was that the case in 2015 and 16? No. Lawyers who were standing next to me and who were supporting me during arguments in Sabrimala were Malayali Christians and Hindus. But there were Christians also. Because वो उस क्षेत्र से हैं, उस प्रांत से हैं, वो जानते हैं कि इस मंदिर के पीछे की जो सोच है वो क्या है. Because you see what happens is, जो 41 दिन का जो आप व्रत इसमें फॉलो करते हैं, sometimes what people do is they stay away from their families. Because अगर कोई मर जाता है, you can't even be there, आपका व्रत टूट जाता है. So to avoid all of this, you take rental homes. And some of these people, therefore Christians have also rented their homes for the practicing ब्रह्मचारीज. तो दे नो कि यहाँ पे क्या होता है. प्लस जब आप ये पैदल जाते हैं, which is a distance of about 61 kilometers, I've done this as in my younger days. You go through all those portions, and not all of those portions are necessarily populated only by Hindus. So people know what is the local reality. On Twitter, on Facebook and in every other, let's say, social media platform, I was targeted first and foremost by Hindus and Hindus alone. इस कड़वे सत्य के साथ आप जूझिए पहले. Deal with that first. So, I will agree to everything that you have said, but I'm only going to say there is no point in going after one particular institution in isolation when the rest of the society is completely in the throes of coloniality. And it's so difficult to protect any Hindu tradition and make it understandable to Hindus first. अगर आप एक मत हो जाते हैं तब मैं देखूंगा कि भारत में ऐसा कौन सा इंस्टीट्यूशन है जो आपके प्रथाओं और मान्यताओं के पीछे आता है. लेट मी सी दैट.